before the show, Mikey couldn't make it through the Friday game, but me being 6 hours different, I could. 5:30 in the morning, no big deal.
You woke up
Anything
early
to watch the Tigers play.
Yeah, because you're an early riser.
I'm an early riser.
You're an early riser.
Just to give you, I'll give you a little bit about it too. I actually watched the rest of that game from the bed that night because you boys decided to play so damn late. You know what? We said we'd probably just finish this show and just go ahead and keep moving till tomorrow. So I watched that game from the bed too as well.
I tried to watch it from the bed, and then ninth inning happened, and
one more inning, you're like,
I was watching it. The TV was still on. I don't ever fall asleep with the TV on. And I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, TV on. Dog wants me to bring me outside to go use the bathroom. I was like, fuck, I missed it. I was like, I wonder if they won.
Because give us 30 more minutes?
I was like, I can't check it.
I did.
I didn't want to check it at 3:30.
it.
I didn't want to check it at 3:30 in the morning because if y'all had lost, I'd have been pissed. I was like, damn, I don't know if I can go to bed. I had a 7:45 tea time in the morning, so I was like, I had to get up at 6:30. But
come on.
I did wake up, and it was a great.
What'd you shoot at least?
86. That's actually pretty good
and he
for
doubled
me.
the first two holes.
And I doubled the first two holes.
That's an impressive rebound.
Yeah, I was actually very happy. My driver.
That means
a double's always
that
a good
means he
start.
willingly rolled over and went to sleep. That's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. This whole fucking dog and pony
I
show.
did.
I hear.
Listen.
Mikey, I was with you. Whenever you tried to leave, what game was it?
No, I did not try to leave.
Walk off.
I didn't try to leave.
Uh-huh.
I said, extra innings. You want to stay?
Yeah, that fifth inning
That's
gets
crazy.
it.
That's crazy.
But
you played at LSU and you're
I
trying to leave.
I knew that we weren't going extras. I knew that Bears gonna hit a home run to the fucking moon, and we were gonna win.
What is
And
the thought you were trying to leave is insane.
well, that's why I won, because telepathically.
Mikey wants to leave.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you, I had to re-recruit him back to LSU. I was like, look, we've stayed for 9
And
innings.
then,
Why not stay one
then
more?
not only did we stay, we got
Fireball shots.
shooters brought to us after y'all hit the walk-off. It was amazing.
Was it with the parents too?
Yeah.
No, well, actually, funny story. At Chance Brown made me give the speech before the Saturday game at the parents' tailgate. And
Tennessee weekend?
No, this
weekend.
What'd you say?
Honestly, I basically said, fuck Arkansas. Van Horn can't win here. He fucking tries to. Can't do it. Can't ever win the big game. This game's too big for him. We're going to win. And then Jake goes 2 homers, and I get a text from Chance. He goes, you're doing a speech every fucking weekend. I was like, fuck.
According to my dad, after I hit the homer, Chance brought my dad a fireball shot too.
That's the parents' thing.
Yeah.
I mean, 2023, they're all alcoholics.
Yeah, they had some tradition going into. I don't remember what it was though.
Same thing. They would take shots.
Yeah, but I think they said they switched it.
They moved spots. They moved tailgate spots. They did tell me that because they didn't win it last year, so they moved it.
That's fair.
Yep. But y'all put yourselves in a good spot now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this weekend.
All right.
All right. Actually, let's talk about you before we get to this weekend. You came here 2 years ago, won national championship. Obviously, lineup is stacked.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to break it. You have a bunch of veteran guys. You have guys that did really well. I think that's understandable. Last year, you kind of started making some headway, hurt your shoulder, injury kind of derails the season. You don't get in there. In the day and age now of transfer portal, moving around, changing it, you stayed true to LSU. You're from Louisiana. You've wanted to play at LSU. You stayed true. You got an opportunity here, and you've taken the opportunity this year. You've stayed healthy, and you've run with it. You've been one of the best hitters in the lineup. Talk me through that. Talk me through that timeline. Like, how close were you to leaving? Why did you stay? And how awesome does it feel now that you've looked up and you're, damn, I stuck with it, and now look what I'm doing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm from Louisiana, so I had to come to LSU, you know.
Proud of Roast Pine.
That's crazy. I saw that. Freshman year, I mean, just use it as an experience here. Dylan Cruz, Tommy White, Paul. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Last year got hurt, you know, just kind of stuck with it. Did what I could for the team. Talked to Coach Johnson about it a little bit too. Just tried to do what I could do when, you know, I was hurt. And then obviously, I mean, there were some thoughts. You know, I really haven't played much in 2 years. But then I had surgery, and I kind of just had a feeling in my heart that was like, all right, I'm meant to stay here. Like, I came here for a reason. You know, it's kind of God's sign to stay here and trust it. And couldn't be any more thankful. You know, I'm healthy now, so it's probably the most enjoyable part.
And it's hard now. Like, you're kind of a rare breed as far as sticking it out. Back in our day,
everybody stays.
You know, you had to. You couldn't really transfer. You transferred you to sit out.
Yeah.
You know, but there's opportunities for some guys to maybe get pushed out and transfer, right? Like some guys, some of our best players, Lewis Coleman, Coach Mary brought him in the office and said that he needed to go.
Yeah.
He needed to transfer. He wasn't doing the things he needed to do. He wasn't performing the way he needed to perform, and this may not be the right place for him. He's from Slaughter, Mississippi, small town in Mississippi, but loved LSU, basically cried to Maneri and was like, hey, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, I will do whatever it takes to be that guy. Next year, his junior year, puts him in the doghouse, doesn't play him, ends up playing in the back end of games, starts throwing really well, changes his arm slot to like a low three-quarter crossbody, then he starts throwing 93s, nasty.
Yeah.
Ends up becoming the best guy out the pen, and then comes back for his senior year, is SC Pitcher of the Year, and makes it to the big leagues.
Yeah.
And so his, obviously route to stardom was a lot different. He couldn't transfer, but he wants to stay here. My point in saying that is guys that want to be here and are committed to being here, you can see those guys end up coming out of a slump or maybe not having an opportunity and playing later on and down in their career. And you're evident of that. In that transition, right? In the injury, being hurt, coming back, were there any changes in the swing? Were there any adjustments, or was it, hey, let me just get some reps and let me go out there and let me show you what I can do?
I mean, there had to be some changes that were made. I pretty much tore my labrum, so I mean, we kind of just found our way around things. Just get to a point where I was comfortable. Not too much worried about the micro adjustments. Just swing the way I could comfortably without being in pain, obviously, and then it was just trying to focus more on approach. That way we can actually make the at-bats worth it. And then ever since I've been back, it's just been kind of getting to where I was before I got hurt, back to getting smooth and feeling good. So, but
I was just a long way for Mikey to say thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just I respect that and I appreciate that because it's not something that you see often anymore. And I grew up wanting to play for LSU, and I had the opportunity to play for LSU early, but it's one of those things where when you see yourself there, it means more, and you do whatever you need to do to perform it and be that guy.
Yeah, as a freshman, I saw myself in the jerseys. I was like, all right, I made it. This is amazing.
Right.
And to me, my family's big on loyalty, so that was also another piece. Is and I'm from Louisiana. I can't get much better than this.
Love that. And there's not a better place to play than here.
Yeah.
Jared, you got one?
Yeah, I got one. So we did this little, I guess you can call it a mini series, if you will, last year where we started breaking down swings, and we just happened to have
we're very ADD and we don't stick to things.
We honestly had 2 clips of your swing, right? And so we're not in the cage with you every day. We don't get a chance to see you swing every day. We've never gotten to talk ball or hitting with you. And so we see these 2 swings and we're like, man, I don't know, man, this shit plays. This swing right here could really, truly play. We like this shit. And then obviously the year happens the way it does in terms of the injury and everything that kind of goes. Man, after weekends like Tennessee and last weekend and kind of where things are this year, do you go home at night feeling not necessarily that I'm at my peak, because I don't really think you're even close to your peak, but do you go home at night feeling this is what I knew I can do, and the reason why I stuck this shit out is because of weekends like this here and where weekends like this potentially lead us towards the back end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great taste, Obviously going through a rough first 2 years, and then when you experience a year like this so far, and especially the last couple weekends for me, it's definitely a good taste in your mouth. You feel like you're actually doing something right, And I go home at night, sometimes I'm feeling myself.
Yeah, of course.
But then I kind of remind myself, all right, the year's not over. I want to win another natty, so I got to keep going. But I mean, it's been amazing so far. I couldn't complain. That's for sure.
You've been in the DH spot, outfielder, right? You're 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, let's say 6'6". We'll round up. But you're extremely athletic.
I don't think.
Yeah, cleats or no cleats. I don't think people realize how athletic and how fast you are up until probably this year, because you're finally out there and you're running down the line. I think people kind of take that for granted. Do you being as the DH, right, and being basically, hey, you're in the lineup, how much work and how much pride are you taking in, obviously defensively, right? Because you're not getting as many innings out there.
Yeah.
But the next level you're gonna be in the outfield. How do you balance that? How do you balance the offensive side, because that's what you got to do right now with being ready defensively?
Yeah, I mean, during our BP when we take our outfield reps, I'd take those reps pretty seriously, because if something were to happen and I have to go out there, I want to be prepared, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd say I still take defense pretty seriously. I mean, even along for the next, you know, for the future, I got to be ready at any point. So kind of just staying mentally ready, and you know, the confidence I have, even though I'm not really playing much out there. But I mean, like before practice, I'll do all my hitting stuff, you know, get ready.
Yeah.
Even before games, I hit a lot early, and then right before the game is when I use some defensive stuff, you know, just try to lock in, kind of get a feel for like what the wind's doing too, even for when I'm hitting. Just trying to, you know, get a little better even when I'm not playing outfield. Can always be a tool that people surprise the most with. So
you have a unique perspective because you're here in 23. There's not a lot of guys out here from 23, right? There's a few.
I think there's 12 of us.
Yeah, right. And so you were there 23. You got to experience the team that won national championship. You were there last year. You are honestly probably 1 out away from hosting and then probably making it back, right? You are playing y'all's best baseball. Everybody that we've talked to that has come in from this year's team and that were here for 23 and last year, they talk about how the culture in the locker room and the closeness of the guys a lot different this year than it was last year, a lot similar to what it was in 2023. Do you still feel that same way?
Oh, I mean, I completely agree. It was such a weird feeling, you know, as a freshman in that like kind of locker room. When you go from a high school clubhouse to the locker room in 23, you're like, this feels so weird. And then at the end of the year, you're like, wow, I really miss those guys already.
Right.
And then, you know, you spend the first month and a half in the locker room this year trying to get to know everybody. And then, you know, fall is fall. It's kind of long. Everybody's just trying to fight through. And then we get into season. You know, we have a lot of people that are fighting.
Are you a good fall player? I'd
say it goes 50-50.
Yeah.
Depends.
Okay.
But, you know, you've got a lot of guys fighting for the same positions, and we're all best friends.
Yeah.
Like, if you were looking from the outside, nobody would think me, Josh, or Jake would be friends. And, I mean, those are some of my closest friends on the team. Even other positions that are fighting it out, too. I mean, we're all really good friends. And we all kind of have each other's back, you know, even if there's a disagreement in the locker room, you know, we're willing to confront it and put it together and then move forward with it. So it feels a lot similar to 23. I feel like if we can keep it that way and, you know, just keep pushing, especially once postseason comes, I feel like we're gonna be fine.
Jared.
Being that you were a freshman, I kind of want to touch on that a little bit more. Being that you were a freshman coming into the locker room in that 2023 season, at what point did you realize, like, damn, this is a damn good team, one? And then two, what things do you take from that season that you just got a chance to learn, whether it be hitting, whether it be about how to go about your actual everyday routine, whether it be about how to be a better teammate? Like, what things do you still try to apply from that year that you make sure is, like, at the top of your list?
Yeah, I mean, I realized we were going to be really good when we played Tennessee at home. I mean, that's probably still the most electric thing I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, I played in front of, like, maybe 150 in high school. And all of a sudden, we have 13,000.
The whole town.
Yeah, 13,000. Friday night against Tennessee. I mean, that was electric.
That was Jordan Thompson's double, right?
Yeah. I went in the locker room to go to the bathroom or something, and I heard the crowd from inside the locker room. It's like, this is insane. It's like I knew every person that came to my high school.
Double?
No, I didn't miss a double.
Okay,
but I'm saying, like, in between innings, I could hear the crowd. I didn't miss that.
I was like, damn.
No.
Not worried about it.
Yeah. We got it.
Good.
But, I mean, a lot of the mindset you know, I mean, you can go hit for hours and get your swing better, but you can't just get your mindset better. You know, there's a lot of things I've taken from Dylan or Doogie or Beloso. I mean, that's stuff you can't just buy.
Right.
You know, I mean, those guys have thousands of ABs in the collegiate level between three of them.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most important thing to me. I was like, all right, like, I may not play a lot, but there's something I can take from this.
No doubt. And look.
Well, Jay talked about that. Like, he said there was, like, a turning point almost in your, like, playing time, essentially. He was like, I didn't like his body language after, like, I think you were 0 for 2. Yeah. And he said, like, he talked to you or whatever going into, like, your third at bat. He's like, and something changed, like, right there. Like, you felt like
he felt that something.
Yeah, he felt like something changed. So you can tell that, like, that makes a difference.
Yeah. Because, I mean, at this level, everybody's got the talent, let's be honest. You can't play in the SEC if you're not good enough, you know. It's all about the mindset. And, like, the 23 team, I mean, it doesn't get much better from a mindset standpoint than that team. And just learning everything from, you know, 20 different guys in that locker room it's game changing. I mean, you like I said, you can't buy that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff you just have to, it's like who you know type of thing.
No doubt. We talked a little bit off the air about approach. I want to talk about that right now, right? Because you just mentioned SEC, you have to be good to play in the SEC, right? It's a matter of, hey, who can do it mentally, who can kind of overcome the adversity. And a lot of times, like, there's a lot of people that have been talking about over the last month, man, the offense hasn't been playing well. Everybody's in slumps, this and that, and
they keep winning.
We've been, they keep winning. I was like, we've been talking on here that not just because you're in a slump doesn't automatically mean you got to change your swing.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times when you struggle, it's mindset or it's approach or it's, hey, you're trying to press, you're trying to do too much. Right? What I've liked since we broke down that swing with your approach is everything feels like it's kind of through the middle.
Yeah.
And you like to drive the ball to right center field. Obviously, you're a big dude. You have power to all fields. So that's not – you don't have to cheat to hit a homer to left field.
Yeah.
Right? But you drive the ball to right center. And this year, by getting the reps and getting the at-bats, you've seen that. You've been able to hit the ball inner half to right center, away to left center. Talk me through your approach. What do you look for? How do you approach your at-bats? Obviously, it's dependent on the pitcher, but I just want to talk that a little bit.
I mean, I kind of just think through the middle, you know. That's where the most lane is anyways. You're early, it's in the gap. You're a little late, it's in the other gap.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you get carried away looking for too much for one thing, you take yourself out of 80% of the game right there. So
Yeah, I was a mental midget.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, but I mean, I've always, since I was young, I was always just kind of raised to aim towards the middle of the field and just kind of stick with it. Obviously, you know, you're gonna be late, you're gonna be early, you're gonna be off pitches. I just try not to cheat anywhere with it.
Yeah.
The minute you start cheating to something is the minute you got a hole or a weakness in your swing.
Yep.
So I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is just staying through the middle, especially with my direction.
Let me ask you this: when things are going not great, right? Whenever you start, because you can feel it as a hitter, like, damn, I don't feel real comfortable. You can stay with is there something that you do, like a drill that you do, or is there something that you key in on that say, okay, this is gonna get me back right?
Fastballs. Left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
You can't go make the pitching change for the team though.
That'd be nice though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be something sooner or later, you know. But for me, it's just kind of hitting more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I was raised. Is the better you're gonna be, the more swings you're gonna take.
Right.
So you know, if I have a bad weekend or a bad game, I'm normally there a little earlier the next day or the next week. You know, hitting more, trying to find the confidence again. Not saying that like I dip in confidence, but
100%.
I feel like the more you try to change stuff, the more problems you're creating yourself. You know, you're like, oh well, what was it this game? Was it the 6 things I just changed, or was it the thing I already had the problem with?
Right.
So I just
It starts spinning.
Yeah. So I just try to say the same thing and try to hit a little more, get a little more comfortable with myself.
You can't try too hard.
Yeah, that you
some
can.
people, some people you can.
That you can. Right. That was probably it is the biggest issue in baseball. Football, you mess up, you go play harder. I'm gonna go hit this guy harder. I'm gonna play harder.
Hey, that works.
Right. Basketball, hey, I just
You're gonna dunk on somebody.
Yeah, all right, fucked up on offense. Let me go back and play lockdown defense. Or, damn, I got beat on defense. Let me go out there and do something offensively. Baseball, damn, this guy just shoves it up my ass his first at bat. Let me just swing harder. Doesn't usually always. Actually, it doesn't work.
It
never works, actually.
Yeah. Or you're in the outfield just doing your swing the entire time.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Like picking daisies.
I've done that too. That's why I hated DH.
I love it.
You love it. I hate it because I was such a I couldn't let it go, and so I would. And then when pro ball you have the cages if you're at home.
Yeah.
And I would
murder.
They locked the cages when I was DH.
No.
I couldn't go hit the cages because that's how much I hit.
That's bad.
It was not good.
That's bad.
It was not good.
It's starting to make a lot of sense about your golf game.
Yeah. It also making sense while I'm sitting here talking right now. You know. Let's talk a little bit about the game this weekend. Big series. Y'all aren't naive to situations, right? Y'all lose on the road to A&M, which all 3 games could have gone either way. Yeah. Wasn't that y'all played bad. Y'all probably left some opportunities out there offensively. Y'all come in, you have Arkansas at home, and similar to when Tennessee came here. Were y'all coming off a loss? Was that Auburn and Tennessee?
It was Auburn.
So y'all lost Auburn on the road, you had Tennessee, y'all rebounded. Very similar to how y'all did here. Y'all 10-run ruled them on Sunday, and y'all beat them in a close game at 1:45 in the morning on Friday. You do it this weekend is the same way. I guess, you had an opportunity on Friday, end of the game, barrel on third base, sac fly. Walk me through that. Walk-off sac fly. Was that your first walk-off at LSU?
Yeah, I'm not counting run rules. I'm not counting run rules.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No, that doesn't count. Midweeks don't count like that. That was my first one. It was a good feeling. You got a plus runner for his size at third. Infield's in, outfield was peeped. It was cracked a little into, I think. A situation, there's not 2 outs I don't need to hit. So just kind of trying to hit something hard or at least get it far enough to where Bear can have a chance. So I'm just kind of being a little more aggressive than I normally would at something in the zone.
Yeah.
Not trying to get to 2 strikes, take the strikeout out of it, and just try to put a barrel on something. Thankfully, I hit it a little too. I hit it far enough.
Just enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Just enough. That's all you need to be. Just.
I didn't
enough.
want it to be close.
Yeah, game inches. It was close, but it made for good theater.
Yeah.
Jared.
How do you approach these DH days, man? Like, everybody goes about it differently. I think a lot of people either think it's either one way or the other, really hard to do, or guys like you that like doing it. How do you go about the routine of your day to keep yourself locked in and make sure you're ready to go each at bat?
Yeah. When we're on defense, if I'm up in the next 3 or 4 spots, I kind of 1 or 2 outs, I start getting ready. Start getting mentally ready, start moving my body a little more, and then as we get into offense, obviously we're all gonna get ready for that. And then after my at bat, or if I still have a little more, I normally just try to go talk to some people, kind of calm down, not try to stay too locked, because I feel like when I try staying locked in for all 9 innings while I'm DHing, I can't do it. I struggle too much. I end up not locking in when I need to lock in. So I normally just try to go talk to some people, maybe lock in a little more in the game, not myself so much. Support the pitchers. Just try to get my mind off of the hitting situation right now. That way, when I get in the box, I can lock back in on it. And then just try to stay loose when I'm, not actively in the game.
Y'all have a lot more technology.
Yeah.
Now, like, do y'all get to watch the pitchers? Like, do you get to watch them throw? You have the iPad. You get to see them, like, if they come out the bullpen. Like, do you have an iPad? Like, this is what he throws. This is what he looks like when he throws. Is there something specific that you look at in scouting reports? When we were here, it was, hey, this guy righty throws 89 to 93 with some sink and a slider, and that was really it. And then he comes in and he's 96, and it's like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Is there something specifically that you look at in scouting reports, and with the technology, y'all able to kind of watch these guys pitch before they actually come in?
Yeah, so before we even do BP, we watch a starting pitcher. They normally show us like 2 or 3 guys out of the pen that they think's gonna bring in that day. So we watch them then, and then during the game, I don't watch any of that stuff. I look at TrackMan, have Jamie or Guidry explain like the metrics. I don't understand
Guidry?
Yeah, Guidry is a demon on the metrics. He knows
really?
Oh yeah.
I guess he's a metric pitcher with the spin rate of the freaking slider.
I have like 3 or 4 homers this year alone when I've asked Guidry what that pitch is doing on that pitch.
Really?
I asked him about the slider against Mississippi State, the homer on Friday I asked him, the homer on Saturday I asked him.
Wow. Ask him every time.
Hey, it doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
You got to pick
it. Go to the World Cup every time.
You got to pick your situations.
No doubt. It's got to be natural.
No doubt.
So the metrics for me, I mean, obviously it's not seeing the pitch in the game, but it's going to give you a better idea of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want every chance I can have, to be successful against 99, every game.
Everybody throws 99.
Yeah.
No.
It's new baseball.
I know you got a place to go. Just a couple more questions. I know you're not too far. You're not too far from where you need to go.
Yeah, we're good.
When the season winds down like this, right? Like y'all have everything to play for now. You're probably going to be a national seed. You're going to have home baseball in Alex Box. You have the last 3 games. You have a road trip. And you have the SC tournament. What's the you're at this is the best part of the season because you're no more school. You're basically like a professional baseball player.
Coach Johnson said that to us on Friday. He was like, "School's done, right?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, well, welcome to the big leagues. Here's baseball every day for you."
And so that's my question: is how mentally do you transition into that? Because it's a completely different way of life than it is during the school year because everything's kind of regimented. You have this, you have that. Now it's not that much, not like that anymore. How do you transition into that mentally and as a team?
I'll be honest, it's nicer. We practice earlier in the day, and it's starting to get hot now too, so that saves a lot of fluids in your body. You wake up a little earlier, which is good for you. And then you practice early, and then you're done for the rest of the day. You go chill, you go hang out, recover, drink water, and then just kind of worry about, the next thing in front of you. And then remind yourself you don't have to press too hard now because you're where you're at for a reason. So there's nothing different between 2 months of baseball ago compared to now. So just trying to stay where you are and not trying to do too much.
Jay,
are you if you're not practicing, obviously day off because obviously y'all are practicing earlier now. Yeah. Are you a sleep in guy? Or are you still an up early guy, breakfast guy?
Well, I had classes on Monday, so I had to be up early, unfortunately.
What's your major?
Sports
baseball.
Yeah.
That was my major.
Baseball was a minor of sports management.
I'll send you a seat over here in a couple of years. 10, 15.
But I'd normally go to class, play with my dog for a little bit, and then my roommate Eddie Yaman would go golf every Monday.
Oh no, where do y'all play?
We go to Santa Maria a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we
there
go there a lot. We like it.
You catch any of his
You hit the ball a long
bullpens?
way.
Huh?
You hit the ball a long way, I'd imagine.
I used to now, but I kind of do now.
Yeah,
Probably about 310.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What was not a lot?
Like 260.
Oh,
As long as it's in play. As
Yeah.
long as you're in play, that's all that matters.
That's not always guaranteed now.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
there's two different styles of golf I've learned. Playing with Mikey and seeing you hit 310. 260 would be a good one. Two ways to play the course.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I hit 260. It's in the fairway.
Saved me a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Do y'all have like team pool days now? Like, is it like this is like hey, we're off on Monday. Nobody's got class. Let's go meet at X pool
Yeah.
and hang out.
I know we did a lot last year. We hadn't done nothing yet because obviously we just finished
You just
school,
finished,
but
yeah.
we're already talking about it, and I'm
And
looking forward to
And
it.
y'all got home baseball here. Playoff
I got a
baseball.
farmer's chain I got to fix.
No doubt.
So,
Well, that's what golf's gonna do to you, and
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah.
Roast Pound will do that to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I guess. I mean, this guy's from Alexandria. Don't let him fool you. This guy's.
Yeah.
That's why I know what Roast Pound is.
Yeah, I know. This guy's up there. It's Don't let him.
You have a unique perspective, I would say, being a DH, and also you get to. So you're obviously involved in the game, but you get to see Jay, the coach, go through every pitch and every emotion. What is that like being on the bench and seeing kind of the interaction between what he's doing defensively whenever you're trying to get ready offensively? Is that something that like a sight to see? Sometimes I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean he's a good coach, so like you don't ever question what he does. He makes a move and you're like, okay, I see why he's doing it.
Does he explain the moves to you? Like when he does it, like
He ain't gotta explain nothing.
no, I'm just
I
asking.
trust him.
No doubt, but
Hey.
some coaches do. Like this is what I'm doing. It's not like if you watched what's the Netflix special on the Red
Clubhouse?
Sox, the Clubhouse, right? Alex Cora pinch hit O'Neal for
Because his grandma died.
for the guy. He goes, hey, his grandmother's about to pass away. I'm gonna give him a bat, and
It's a homer.
he knew it, and he had a homer, right? There's sometimes there's explanation, sometimes not. Doesn't have to explain it. I just didn't know some coaches over-explain, some coaches don't say anything. But trust is a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean he might have explained a couple here and there, but
Yeah.
I've told him I trust him a lot before, whether I'm
Yeah.
in the game or I'm not.
Yeah,
And he knows that. I've told him that multiple times. I mean, especially with what he's done for my career. He don't got to explain himself.
yeah. I love
No,
that.
I wouldn't even think explanation. I was just
Yeah.
more interested in like the in between pitch. Like he lives and dies with every pitch, and then you saw he was doing the in-game interview this weekend, and it's I think they laid down a bunt single, and he goes, "This is why I hate doing these." And he like takes
That's
the
it.
headset. Oh yeah,
That's why I hate doing this.
Oh, during the game?
During
Yeah.
the game.
He hates those.
They asked two questions and they could not get off fast enough and they started laughing.
Yeah.
Ben McDonald's like, well, I
All
guess they need to play better than get them on for longer.
I just imagine you have a back seat to that.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
like
remember.
every
I don't
pitch.
even remember where we were playing. It was recent, and the girl was begging him to go down there. She was like, "Coach, can you please go? Coach, can you please go?" I was like, "He ain't going. He ain't going.
Don't worry
If he
about
ain't
it.
gone yet. He ain't going. You might as well just leave it alone. Maybe get
Yeah.
it next inning."
Let me ask you this: offensive timeouts. He does it more than anybody
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And I've told him before. I was like, hey, if I was a player, like I hate that. Like, and if you're gonna talk to me about what you want to do, talk to me on deck, not when I'm in the box, and call me out. Now, a lot of times, look, a lot of times I don't even really say much. There's sometimes I say things. There's sometimes I'm just like, hey, I'm slowing the inning down. In those offensive timeouts, how do they usually go?
No, I mean he's not lying to you. Sometimes he doesn't say a word. Sometimes like, all right, well, I want to give Kate Anderson, a couple more minutes of Gatorade.
Yeah.
Um,
And sometimes I imagine he's probably telling you, hey, look for this or this in this
yeah.
situation.
Normally we talk about it before I even go on deck. So
Yeah.
it's normally just like a little bit of concrete. Hey, like here's what's gonna happen, or there's been times where he said, hey, I want Kate to have I want Kate to have 30 more seconds.
Basically a timeout.
Right.
Yeah, and we just stand there and not a word more is said. Sometimes I don't like it, but I trust him. Like I just said,
No
I'm
doubt.
never gonna question what he does. So if he's doing it, there's a reason to it. So
No doubt.
kind of just let it happen.
Favorite place to play on the road?
Oof,
Omaha.
nowhere. Nah, Omaha.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, I like
That's it.
Omaha. Mississippi State ain't bad. It's a good environment.
They're rowdy.
Yeah, A&M's not bad either. They're rowdy too. I like it.
You played Ole Miss yet?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like the small town
They
environment.
were rowdy when we were there, but
They weren't that rowdy. when we
they're
were
not.
there.
They weren't very good.
No, but Morgan Wallen was in town, so I think nobody was at our game.
That's right.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
right. I do remember that.
Yeah, he threw the The chair.
No, that's
Yeah.
no, that was that weekend.
No, that was the weekend like he claimed he got sick or whatever, or like
Oh,
he,
yeah, he got blasted.
Yeah.
He couldn't go on
Yeah,
tour.
threw
Yeah.
the chair off the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't hit anybody, but
I like the adrenaline though. So like I don't want to play like Oklahoma, like when there's 1,000
Awful.
fans. I'm not
freezing
a fan of that.
cold,
Yeah.
brutal.
I mean, it's baseball, so you kind of just gotta do it anyways. But I like the adrenaline.
yeah.
I played football, so I need the. I need
How
the-
long?
All 4 years of high school.
Position.
See, love that.
Quarterback.
See,
Did you go
Love
under
that.
center?
Sometimes. I like the contact though. That's why
yeah,
I
yeah.
liked it.
You're running quarterback.
I was a
You
dual
did
threat.
dual threat guy.
Yeah, I was a dual threat.
We that was Maneri actually.
Where's Paul?
He recruited specifically, tried to recruit high school quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. He
I
told me
think-
that. Him and Nolan Kane told me that.
Yeah,
They're like, hey, we look for high school.
we had
quarterbacks.
9 high school quarterbacks on our baseball team in 2009.
I think I might be the only one.
It's a different world. It's a different world out there now with baseball.
Yeah.
It's so sports specific. But being from a small town, you're able to play.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports, or was it just football? And
Just
baseball?
football, baseball.
Football, baseball.
No, I got threatened to play basketball.
I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised they didn't force you to play basketball.
My head coach for baseball said if I ever catch you even touching a basketball, you'll be cut off the team.
Just played lights out this
Okay, well-
season.
He wasn't joking.
LSU
He wasn't
baseball
Well,
joking.
is it? Look
even
at
had
this.
Big throws, and the
200
Eagles win
yards for
over
Pickering.
Pickering.
Look at this.
On this first
High
play,
socks.
the Eagles are in a
That's
2-by-2
great.
set.
That's a great play.
The two
It's a great
inside
play.
I had a
receivers
couple-
run
I was
clearing
throwing
routes,
some schools.
and the outside
I bet.
receivers run
6'6"
comebacks.
quarterback?
Fry looks off
Dual
his
threat.
primary
Dual threat?
receiver and looks opposite.
Sneaky
And
fast.
then he hits the open
See,
receiver
oh,
on the
look at him go off the
sideline
read.
for a 33-yard
And that's the other
gain.
question, is
Receiver
like-
on the sideline,
Look,
and
look,
Does
looks
that
gets
make
off-
you
gets
mad?
off
And then
one,
he hits
gets
the
off
open
two, goes to
receiver on the
3.
sideline.
Does that make you
for a
mad when they call you
33-yard gain
sneaky fast?
and a
Like,
big
I am
first
fast.
down?
I'm not sneaky.
On the
man.
second play,
As long as
Fry
they
is
call
in
me
the
fast, I
gun.
don't care.
That's a
The
good point.
offense is in a 3-by-1
They
set.
they
with
think
3
we're
receivers
slow,
to the
and I'm not.
You're not slow. I know
You
that.
and Jake Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake talked about that too.
The
He's
math's
like,
starting
yeah.
to math.
See, but I don't understand why people call him slow. Like you can tell he's fast.
Well, right, but people just,
I'm big. I don't have a reason to be called fast.
that's a very good point.
Eat up ground. How?
Hey, why you think they call y'all slow?
That's what I'm wondering.
Maybe they're slow. I don't know.
Oh shit! Why do you think they call me slow? I don't know. My pigmentation may not be what they expect it to be.
They never pick off when I get on base.
That's crazy.
I look. It got to the point where when I was in pro ball, I got so fed up with it that I told Jake this. Like, I specifically wore my pants up to make me look.
Look at
Fast.
those,
More
look at those
athletic.
ham
Like,
hocks
hey, I'm
he's got
fast,
down
but, like,
there.
I think I look stupid with high pants on.
I thought so too, and then you get to
He
you
wanted
got
to show
good
off the
pants. You
calves.
got good pants.
Yeah.
If they're custom fit, it feels
Yeah.
better.
But why do you want to look fast?
Because he thought he was being undervalued.
I thought I was
as
being
an athlete.
profiled.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
being
but
profiled.
I'd rather
He was
catch him by
staring down the back
surprise.
end of the career. He was like, I
Right.
gotta
It was more for the other teams watching me than the
Yeah.
teams that I'm playing against.
That's
what happens
fair.
when you get
That's
to minor
fair.
league ball.
It was more for the other teams. I was like, hey, don't forget about me.
Waiver
I
wire.
may be at the
That's what a
back end of my
stopwatch is
career.
for, though.
You're right. You're right.
I don't
That's a
think the
good point.
pants are gonna do much.
No. It was good for my mentals, okay? It was good for my mentals, all right? Don't take that away from me, all
Y'all have
right?
been great teammates.
Yeah.
He
Why
said
are you
that he
doing
said the
that?
less fabric helped him out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
White
it.
cleats.
The white cleats. Always got to wear white cleats. That helps.
When it comes to the strength and conditioning, speed, all that stuff, how much has Chris Martin made a difference? And obviously, it says first year here.
Yeah.
And then, so first year with him, you've had multiple strength and conditioning coordinators.
He's my fourth in 3 years.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
big of a difference has he
Yeah,
made coming from the
insane.
Astros?
I love Chris. I've never really had a problem with any strength coach we've had here, but I mean Chris is smart. He's young too, so he's kind of closer to our age where it can be bad sometimes, but he knows how to control it. I mean,
Take your
obviously,
creatine.
yeah, we're in great shape, so he's done a good job with us. He's got a little more of a speed factor to him too. Like he knows a lot about sprinting and stuff.
That's
And
what I was about to ask.
Yeah, we wear those catapults every
Yeah.
game. Yeah, those help out a lot. too.
Everybody keeps saying that y'all wearing bras. It's like,
Yeah.
everybody is chill. Whatever. But
I don't know. He tells
Is
me I'm
his-
fast, so
is his, strength, I guess,
Approach?
approach, that's the right way, significantly different than the other guys, or is it similar, just kind of tweak some different things?
I feel like they're all pretty similar to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have your rotational squats in there. You still have your bench, Then you've got your athletic movements like power off press or some other
Yeah.
stuff we do. But I mean, I feel like he just finds certain ways
Yeah.
to sneak good stuff in there. He wants some feedback too. Hamstrings are tight today. Can we alternate this? And he's like,
Right.
yeah, of course. Like just talk to me about it. And every program is like develop per
Yeah.
person. It's not just
That's important.
here you go, here you go,
Yeah.
here you go,
Right.
which I like a lot considering.
BFS, bigger, faster,
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah, and I mean there was a time for that, but it's not now anymore.
High school.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like it's player specific.
Yeah.
No doubt. Dude, I can keep you here all night. I'm not gonna do that. I've already made you late.
No, it's fine.
Man, we appreciate you taking your time to come
Appreciate
on here.
y'all.
We want to get you back on here at some point
I'll come back out
before
here. Y'all let
before
me know.
the season's over with. Whenever you're off and you got more time.
We're just
Good luck.
We'll go
What?
do it in Nebraska.
Yeah, or we do it in Omaha. Or just come visit y'all in Omaha when y'all make it there.
You tell me.
We'll make it happen.
Perfect.
Good luck the rest of the way,
Appreciate
dude.
it.
Keep swinging
Appreciate
it. Keep doing what you're doing. We're huge fans here, obviously, and looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season holds for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
Appreciate you, dog.